Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion. And today, we gotta switch lanes a little bit and take a look at something from Boruto Chapter 79 that might very well have set the stage for a couple of plot holes with this new plot twist that we have. As we all know, Ada used her shinjutsu to rewrite the memories of everyone and make the current reality one where everyone thinks that Kawaki is Naruto's firstborn son and Boruto is the ungrateful adopted child who killed the 7th Hokage and his wife. However, while this plot twist has shaken up the series in a good way, where buzz and excitement is continuing to build. Like we do here on the channel with the chapter discussion videos, we look at some of the downsides to what just happened here in this amazing plot twist and why Kawaki's quickly put together plan to get Boruto hunted down might actually backfire on him, or at the very least it has enough potential holes in it that it might sink him when enough stuff comes to light. So jumping right into it, I think we all will agree Ada's shinjutsu is low-key a representation of what Amato said a few chapters ago. Ninjutsu and genjutsu are mere cheap imitations of shinjutsu used by an Otsutsuki god or an Otsutsuki who knows shinjutsu itself. And this here is basically genjutsu on steroids to a point where you could argue this is a global Kotomatsukami. But here's the thing, the comparison to genjutsu is exactly why we have to discuss this, because if the fandom is right with the genjutsu comparison, we have to look at the weaknesses of genjutsu, which would still apply to the shinjutsu, but I'm not going to be talking about chakra to break out of it because I don't think that's going to be it. One of the dangers for genjutsu for the caster is if somebody realizes they're under genjutsu, that at least gives them a chance to fight back by either being skilled enough to disrupt the chakra flow within their body or relying on an outside source of chakra to do so, which again, I don't think will be the case here in terms of the chakra bit, even though we know that chakra is being used to manipulate everyone's memories. However, I do think there's a chance that people trapped under Ada's shinjutsu are going to start realizing something isn't adding up here. That's where we run into some of the problems here, problems that might open themselves up into plot holes later on, in particular with those who are shinobi, because by instinct shinobi are taught to see the hidden meaning behind the hidden meaning, as they say in Boruto, or as what was said in Naruto, the phrase was a ninja must see through deception. Right now, everyone believes Kawaki is Naruto's son and Boruto is the Hokage killer, but we saw immediately there are those who noticed something was off. For instance, one of the Chunin asked why Ada, someone we as the audience know is infatuated with Kawaki, but in this current reality, she should be infatuated with Boruto. The Chunin asked what it was that she was doing there. Now, that could just be them saying, why are you here and not in the safe house? That's fair enough. And when Shikamaru gets questioned about this, Kawaki was in the briefing room where Shikamaru told Boruto, hey, you need to try and charm Ada in case things go crazy with Kawaki. Kawaki could lean into that right there. However, the next question that Chunin asked was what happened to the scar that should be on Boruto's eye, because everyone thinks that Boruto gave Kawaki the scar of his eye and not vice versa. This is dangerous foreshadowing because this shows that while everyone's memories might have been changed, their perception of reality itself has not changed. Now allow me to explain. If their perception was truly changed, they would see Kawaki as Boruto to a point where they would see the features that belong to Boruto on Kawaki, including the scar that should be on Kawaki's face. This means physical things have not been affected by the shinjutsu Ada used, just the memories that they have themselves. This means if someone were to look at, say, the academy records, they'd see Boruto's name written down and not see Kawaki's, except for when Kawaki attended the academy with Himawari's class. This means the photos in the Uzumaki household will also have a child version of Boruto in it with his family and not Kawaki's photos. Even at the Hokage office, Naruto keeps a photo of his family at his desk, something that Shikamaru, someone who's likely going to fill in until someone like Kakashi takes over as Hokage, they're going to see this and know that something is up. Either one of those characters, which if you're trying to pull off deception, those are the last two people you want on your trail, because Kakashi is a big enough of a troll to just go along with it in order to give you enough rope to hang yourself, and Shikamaru is tactical enough to move in silence until it's time to say checkmate. Those two aren't the only two big-brained IQ people who are at risk of learning the truth. So too will Amato at some point in the story. He's very likely to figure out the truth as well. We can all pretty much say in agreement that Amato has shown himself to be morally gray enough where he won't say anything because Kawaki is a means to an end for him, and he is the king on Amato's chessboard. He can't afford to lose Kawaki under any circumstances, otherwise he loses his chance to revive his daughter's soul inside of Delta's body. And as he said, this is his last option. Kawaki has all the tools right now to buy Amato's silence, and Ada has that pit bull on a leash known as Damon, who's ready to kill Amato if he tries anything. The moment Kawaki uses any jutsu associated with Ishiki, Amato's gonna figure out the truth. It might even come as soon as when he sees Kawaki, because Kawaki, like all the other car inners who were turned into cyborgs, share distinct facial features in the form that they each have a Roman numeral tattoo on their face. In Amato's mind, Boruto should be the one who got that marker and not Kawaki. Amato is smart enough to realize what happened right away, even if he can't figure out how it happened. But even that's up for debate when you look at the anime episodes dealing with Olga/Yatsumi, and you look at the whole basis for that genjutsu everybody was trapped under, and how they thought that the genjutsu was reality and the technology left behind in order to make that genjutsu. It makes you question Amato in a big way. The man was forward thinking enough to make himself into a cyborg by turning his literal eyeballs into ninja tech, which for right now, we don't know what those ninja tech eyes can do, but we do know that he did this because Ada told us as much when she said that Code would have to gouge out Amato's eyeballs because he has ninja tech for eyeballs. Amato also will be the one who sees that something is wrong, because there are a ton of physical evidence that Kawaki was the one that he was working on inside of his lab. Think about it. How many times has Kawaki been to Amato's lab since he's been in Konoha to get maintenance done on the ninja tech inside his body? All that research that he did before getting to Konoha and after is going to have Kawaki's name on it, unless he's being referred to as a test subject number, and Amato's calculated enough to actually do something like that. But if Amato did any type of videotaping when he was doing his research, that makes it even worse and more damning for Kawaki. The physical evidence that connects his and Boruto's true identities have not been affected by shinjutsu. Is it possible that Kawaki realizes this and uses Sukuna Hikona to sneak around to the various parts of the village and literally resize himself when he reaches where those items are, and either shrink them down using the same jutsu or store them away inside this Daikokuden dimension where Naruto is? It's extremely possible, but he won't be able to do so right now because he's running too low on chakra to even use Sukuna Hikona. With Amato, he likely recognizes ninja tech inside of Kawaki's body the moment that he uses it, but again, Amato's silence is something that can be bought. Then you have the issue with Sasuke. We've already discussed the fact that Sasuke will likely see Boruto in possession of his headband and know that something is wrong. Could we see Sasuke offer training to Kawaki, which Kawaki will turn down? Because as he's shown before, he has no interest in the way the shinobi way of doing things anymore, and when this happens, Sasuke's gonna know something's up. Naruto's son always jumps at the chance to train under Sasuke. If he asks Kawaki to make a Rasengan, unless Naruto taught it to him on screen, he's gonna run into that problem there as well. Whereas Kakashi and Shikamaru will play the long game to let you hang yourself in Kakashi's case or set up a trap for you in Shikamaru's case, Sasuke's more direct and has less tolerance for foolery than either of them. Sasuke's more likely to just pull that sword out and start demanding answers. Sasuke might very well end up being one of Kawaki's biggest problems because he's likely to see through this as quickly as anybody else, assuming that he's affected, which that's up for debate and has been a debate in the community itself. The more you sit down and think about it, the more you see that Kawaki's plan that he came up with right there on the spot, while it raises his chances to have Boruto killed because it makes him a wanted man across the world, it also opens him up for more room to be exposed. It's no different than a child playing a prank on a parent who sees it coming and merely goes along with it. Kawaki has issues on his hand, and so too does the story if we get into the time skip when we don't see that Kawaki has erased Boruto's presence from places like Mitsuki's apartment, which has a photo of Boruto at the bedside, and Konohamaru's apartment where a photo of Team 7 exists, and so many other places. It's going to be a bit of a plot issue if these physical reminders of Boruto are still around by the time we get to the time skip and nobody takes note of this. However, I'm curious to know how you guys feel about this. Which do you think is the bigger problem out of all of these? While you think that over, click here to watch my Chainsaw Man Chapter 124 review.